Man, after everything that's happened with Hank, I mean, I can only imagine what the hell Lucy's gonna do to avenge what the hell happened. I mean, she's gonna make her father pay.
Get the fuck out of here before I shove your quotations book up your fat fucking ass.
Maybe you could boil it down to she just needs a full-time cook. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today, this one's going to be doing a review for Fallout, this one's going to be doing my next review and my second to last review for Fallout Season 2. This is for Episode 7, titled The Handoff, and no more hand jobs for Chet, given what the hell he just did. So, alright, we got 2 episodes left for Fallout Season 2, this is the penultimate episode. I have to admit, y'all, I'm a little underwhelmed with this episode. I'm not gonna lie. This is the first time I'm actually sitting there saying with a Fallout episode, I feel like we could have done a little bit more than what we did do here. I'm not gonna lie. This one was fine. It's a fine episode, but I find it suffers with a lot of different little plots here and there that kind of don't really feel like they're going anywhere. So let me kind of go into my more positives of the episode, and then I'll go into my more negatives. My favorite element of this episode is actually the opening sequences and those few flashbacks we got over the course of the episode, where we get lore on Steph when she was in Canada, and we see the death of her mother, I believe is what it was, and we saw, you know, everything going down, the fallout kind of, you know, starting up and everything. And we learn about what Steph went through and everything, and I thought it was a great opening scene. I thought it was really good. They run into one of the soldiers, you know, of course, and they kind of run. Big explosion goes off, of course, you know, Steph's mother dies, and then she's obviously having to, you know, obviously go on without her. She gets through the border to break into the States, where she kills the guard, which I would have liked to see that on screen, but I did like the way they, you know, they did it where she's brushing her teeth and you see like the blood come out, and it's, you know, it kind of ties into the flashback. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm glad we got knowledge on Steph. I thought that was really, really interesting, and I thought it made for some good flashbacks. My favorite storyline this episode, though, besides that, 'cause I thought that was definitely a highlight. Aside from that, I thought it was an amazing storyline with Maximus the Ghoul and obviously his buddy as well. I thought that was a really good storyline. You know, you kind of get to see them, you know, kind of exploring everything, and obviously, you know, you have that stuff that he's trying to give to Lucy, but obviously Ghoul wants it, you know, and he kind of points a gun in his face, and he's like, no, this is for Lucy, you know, and he's like, well, you may have to give it to a horrible person, you know, before you give it to a good person, you know, meaning himself. And they get the armor, of course, from the NCI, and obviously, I mean, you know, you go from there, you know, they get the armor, they get going, they get out there, and basically you have, you know, Ghoul, who goes with them to New Vegas, and I thought this was kind of interesting. You get all, like, the civilians that, like, kind of, like, rally up behind them, which I thought was kind of badass, as you got Maximus that goes in there and fights a Deathclaw. So, this was my favorite scene of the episode. This boss fight was awesome. We get to see Maximus, he's in the armor, he kind of gets stuck at one point, but then Ghoul helps him out, shoots at the Deathclaw, Maximus comes back, saves Ghoul. It was a fantastic scene. Maximus was an absolute badass, and I like that he defended the people while you got the Ghoul that goes inside, and meets up with House, who returns on the big screen. So that was awesome. Felt like the video game, very cool return there. I loved the way that they did all that stuff. I thought it was a really great return for House, and I thought it was a great scene as he's looking to, you know, bring him back, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was awesome. I absolutely loved it. So that was great. House coming back was awesome. The boss fight with the Deathclaw was absolutely amazing. The Steph flashbacks were stellar. Now let's talk about some of the stuff I didn't like about the episode, because unfortunately there actually is a number of things I don't think they did well here. Okay, Norm's plot. What the fuck is going on with that? Like, seriously, like, I was trying to be patient with it at first, but this episode was the first time I was like, okay, what are we doing? He wakes up, they knock him out again, alright? And then he's out of the episode until the very end. At the very end, he tries to contact Lucy on the radio, and the guys catch him. That's it. That's all we get of Norm. Keep in mind, he wasn't in episode 6 at all, and we thought he may or may not have been dead at that point. This episode, we're not seeing jack shit. So, yeah, no. Norm, I don't like his usage this episode. I don't think they handled that well at all. When they knocked him out again, I kind of rolled my eyes. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, okay, like, damn, like, what are we doing, you know? But that was just a side story, but it was still worth mentioning. I don't know what they're doing with Norm, y'all. I really don't, but I hope that he links up with Lucy, because, like, his story is, like, genuinely dragging now. Like, it's like we're not doing anything, and it's been that way for a few episodes, but I kind of forgave it in the last few episodes because, you know, it wasn't near the end of the season, but now we're in the penultimate. It's like, he's not even doing anything. Like, it's like, okay, like, you know, where's this going? You know what I mean? Now, Lucy's storyline with Hank here. I don't get this either, y'all. The whole thing is, like, Hank teaching her how to drive, you know, which, okay, I mean, that's fine. And then she ties him up to a oven. Again, I don't understand. Like, she's all nice to him, and then she you know, handcuffs him there, and she tries to get some answers that way, and this and that. I'm like, okay, I mean, it made Lucy feel dumb. Like, it made her feel like she doesn't know what she's doing. And I get it. She doesn't want to kill her father. I get she doesn't want to push herself to do that. But it felt, like, unnecessary to be that dumb. You get what I'm saying? You know? So, I don't know. I felt that storyline also was weak this episode. And then, well, the only other storyline we have is the Vault storyline, which I'm really not sure where this is going either. You know, Steph is a good villain, but you have Chet in this one that discovers Woody's glasses, and they're in the sink for some reason. And it's kind of, you know, implied that something may have happened to Woody, and Steph may have done something to him. And he waits for the worst moment ever. He waits for the moment that they're getting married to make it all public. Literally outs himself in front of everybody to, you know, basically let everybody know that Steph isn't who she says she is. She's hundreds of years old, and she's Canadian, and then they're all like, oh, you know. So, you know, I guess that's that. Hey, is that a bash of Canadians? I'm a Canadian. You know? What the fuck does that mean? You know, I like how that's when they first freaked out, you know? I was like, okay. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then they're just fighting over water again and stuff, and it just, I don't know, man. It just, I don't know. And then the final reveal where you see, like, the head, like, when Cooper goes into that building, and you see, like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? And you see, like, it's just some old lady from the flashbacks. I was just like, who the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. That stuff was also very strange. Though, I will say, I loved seeing Clancy Brown playing the President of the United States. That was awesome. I love that. Clancy Brown is an incredible actor. He is incredible in everything he's in. When I saw him, I genuinely jumped. I was pretty excited. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. I'd give this episode a 6.5. That's what I'm doing with this one. I think it's definitely still more good than bad, but I think there's some bad plots. I don't get the Lucy Hank plot. I don't think we progressed anything in any kind of way that made any sense. The Norm plot is the worst one. That one, I genuinely don't know what the hell we're doing. The Vault plot was okay. It wasn't awful, but it lacks a lot for me in this episode. And then, on the other hand, Cooper's plot, his flashbacks, and his current day stuff with Maximus was fantastic. I loved all that. Maximus taking down the Death Claw and saving Cooper, and then Cooper saving him. Really cool. The return of Robert House was awesome. Clancy Brown's cameo, fan-frickin-tastic. And the opening with Steph, I thought was really good. Besides them not showing the death of that guard, I thought was a little cheap. Aside from that, I thought it was good. Mixed bag this week, y'all, for me, for Fallout. 6.5. Not bad or anything. I don't think it's bad, but it's the weakest episode I've seen of Fallout, for sure. It's definitely the weakest one. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments down below. Let me know where you all kind of stand on this episode. Do you kind of agree with my criticisms on this one? Like I said, there's things I liked, but there was also things I found was a little bit like, okay, we're at the penultimate of Season 2. We only got one episode left, and there's a lot of filler. Like, there's a lot of fat that could have been trimmed from this episode, in my opinion, at least. That's just my opinion. So, But I'm excited for the finale. I'm excited that Robert House is back. You know what I mean? I'm excited that, you know, we're getting into kind of the nitty-gritty stuff now. So that should be exciting. That should be fun. I'm also glad that Prime Video released this episode earlier than 3 in the goddamn morning. That is a good thing. That's a really good thing. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing as well. I'm actually able to review this episode to y'all tonight. Honestly, if anybody works at Prime and you were behind this decision, please keep airing your episodes at this time. It's so much more easier for me as a reviewer to get the review out at still a decent time of night, you know what I mean, than having to wait till the next day because y'all are releasing it at 3 a.m. So if anybody has any pull at Prime and you're watching this video, keep influencing the episodes to come out at this exact time. I mean it for Prime's Fallout. I mean it for The Boys. I mean it for all your Prime Video shows. Releasing a television show at 3 a.m., not a good idea. I'm telling you right now. You're not going to make as good success as you would right away if people saw it at, 9 p.m., for example, and they're like, oh, yeah, I'll watch that right now, sure, Nobody's going to be watching at 3 a.m. I mean, some people do, but, that's not a normal schedule for anybody, you know what I mean? So, that's kind of a side note in terms of the way they released it, you know what I mean? So, I'm excited for the finale, though. I'm definitely excited for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we have next, for sure. So, anyway. If you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoy videos like this, make sure to click subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos. Sure, follow me on Dan's Reviews Official on Instagram, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more videos very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
Born in the dark alley, city of concrete. Dan's reviews blowing up, never taste defeat. Walking Dead dissected every plot twist beat. World gone mad, TV junkies hit a treat. Typing up scripts, marathon through the night. His opinions hit harder than a street fight scene. Every episode, brain sharper than a knife. He's the beacon of critique, shedding TV light.